All right, let's see if we're back. All right, we're gonna play a little jam here. Little Ryan Harris, little David Ryan Harris again. Kick it off.
2 more hours and I'll be gone. I leave my baby needs to carry on. My train is coming and I wanna ride the yonder horizon till it's gone.
All right, we did it. I figured it out. It was my fault. Everything's my fault. By the way, shout out to David Ryan Harris. That's what we're hearing here. A great. Oh, well, let's switch the camera on. There we go. Welcome back. Mix morning. I'm going to do another intro here. Mix morning. A morning mix, whatever I called it. Get your coffee ready. We just did a little test of the stream. And it was great. Super fun. But we realized OBS was in mono. So we have now switched over to stereo. And in theory, we are back and stereo works. I'm going to just update this little thing on the back end here. Hit save. Boom. So shout out to everyone who was on the stream. We are back and it should be working. Okay, so I'm going to pull up the session again. Welcome to the stream. We're using an API summing mixer today. If you didn't see the first one, I'm pulling up a mix and I'm spreading it out across the API summing mixer. We're returning back into Pro Tools. I'm going to get things moved back over. We've got Cole in the background. Okay, we're back. Shout out to everyone who is back. Hilarious. That was a quick fix. I'm glad I figured it out. Found the perfect YouTube video. Okay, so let's listen to it now. Let's see where we are. Let us know if the stereo is stereoing in your guys' feeds here. So I'm gonna go ahead. It looks like we're back in stereo and everything is cooking here. Okay, we got a question. Jonathan Bell, is running through the summing mixer your first or last step when mixing? Ideally, a lot of the mixing is sort of done as the production. Now here, this is specific to how if I get my dirty fingers in on the process right from the beginning, hopefully, by the time we get to mix, it sounds pretty damn good. So there's some things happening here, and it generally looks like this. You know, there might be some high pass filtering on some tracks. Things are being bussed, you know, to like a stereo guitar bus. There's some effects and things like that. But a lot of the mixing, really intense, you know, the more mix choices like effects and automation and stuff like that are going to happen in that mix process. So what I'll do is before that process, theoretically, is I'll spread stuff through this summing mixer, and then I'm going to, and this is kind of where I'm about to pick up on, I'm going to rebalance things going through the summing, and then I'm going to, once I'm kind of happy with how everything's gluing together, sitting in that summing mixer and the bus compressor, then I'm going to do some passes at automation, and that's the most fun part. That's the most important, most effective part of the whole thing. But making all those decisions along the way of the routing and the blend and some minor EQ stuff kind of builds up to that. But really, the behavior and the glue of everything running through, whether it's a hardware insert or the summing mixer, and then writing faders is like what really brings it to life. Yes, John Scalia says lets you have two groups. Yeah, there's two buses, stereo buses. In my instance here, I'm hitting the A bus, and what's cool, you can hit the A bus or the B bus, and you can assign each channel on the summing mixer to either, or you can hit the A bus and insert, because there's an insert point for each bus. Insert your mix compressor, like I'm using the bus plus on, so I'm hitting mix bus A, and then I'm inserting the SSL bus plus, and then there's a to B button, which basically takes your A bus and copies it to B, which for me, that's huge. I want two stereo outs, so one stereo out can be patched to inputs for routing, and then the copy, the B bus, is being routed directly to my monitor controller, so I could just monitor straight on the monitor controller. This allows me to hear just what's coming through the API, and then it allows me to jump back over to my input, which then has some of my post mix bus processing. Like I'll have this airband and then the Pro L limiter that's limiting it and making it a bit louder. Let's bypass this just real quick. I just want to see what our input level is coming in.
Searching for the truth. Be down Is there still a place for me?
So as you can see here on my green, oh God, I'm so sorry. There you go. As you can see here on my green aux, the mix return, this is our input level returning from the API.
Searching for the truth. Be down Is there still a place for
And by God, there's dynamics in it. It's great. So we've got some headroom in there so that for one, we can build up a little bit, and we can also have some limiting. Would be nice to insert the black box as well on the bus. The physical black box would be really cool to try. But I just keep finding myself turning off the black box plugin. It's all over this mix, and I just keep turning it off now that we're hitting the summing. Okay, I'm going to get back to these electrics here. But feel free to drop some comments or questions or whatever while we're doing this.
Searching for the truth. Be down
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn off some of the automation that I had done on this mix previously and kind of rebalance things. So I'm also going to turn it off on the drums. Now I'm going to jump over to our samples here, and we're going to load up. The drums actually sound awesome without the samples. So we're just going to add, I'm going to try something here. This is my, this is the sample I usually use on snare. I'm going to bypass this extra stuff on here. I'll usually have kind of a handful of things loaded onto buses just in on my template, not necessarily because I will use them, but because it's just faster to turn them off and on while working. So if I want to use it, I can quickly just turn it on. A lot of this process is very like quick judgment, quick calls, not thinking too much. Once I get to the automation process, I love actually turning my screen almost off while mixing because it's just, there's Jeff Ellis, if you guys watched the tour, and if not, go watch that tour after the stream, the Jeff Ellis Epic Studio Tour at East West. So much value on mixing in that tour. Jeff is a Grammy Award-winning, really talented mixer who's just incredible at articulating, ways to think about mixing in the process. And he also released a mixing course called Mixer Brain. The quick version of it is Mixer Brain is bad. When you get into Mixer Brain and you're like doing this, like hunched over, staring at the screen, plug and diving, like you're not making good decisions, and you want to get out of Mixer Brain. And a big part of that is touching faders and not looking at a screen and making decisions with your ears and your emotions and your feelings, and because it's highly more effective and you get way better results way faster. And that resonates so strong with me. So if you want to go check that out, it's a super in-depth course, like 90 plus videos, but all just bangers. He put a ton of work into it. It's called Mixer Brain. If you find that tour, I have an affiliate discount because it's a pretty expensive course. But with that discount, you can save 20% or something like that. So go check that out if you're trying to get better at mixing. Really, really well done. Proud of Jeff for that one. I will no longer ever make a mixing course because he did. Okay, so yeah, I dig the live drum sounds. I mean, the important thing is like picking the right drums. This is one of the modules in the drum course I'm making. It's like picking the right sounds for the song. And, this had some serious Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl vibes, Taylor Hawkins, and I wanted to do my best to get like somewhat of a Black Beauty cranked, just snappy rock and roll snare, energetic room mics, played as rock and roll as I could without destroying the drums or cymbals. It's really a delicate thing with the performance for this kind of music. So I'm very happy with what I picked. But at this sort of step in the mix, I will audition some samples and just see what it does. So if this loads here, I'm going to, we'll hear what it sounds like in context. So I'm going to listen to the drums. Let's go to the bridge here. I love this part. Cool. So immediately, love it. Okay, so I'm just muting and unmuting the snare sample here. Not even listening to it in solo. It's the bell brass snare from my Studio Kit. I think it's called Studio Kit sample pack. And this is I sampled this snare this way because of this reason. It does the thing that I freaking want in the mix, which is beautiful. So I'll play that again for you. Hopefully my mic isn't bleeding too much into it. This is without it. And then I'll turn it on. without it. With it. We're not altering the sound of the snare. We're not trying to save the sounds. We're just enhancing what's there, making it cut a little bit more. There's no compression on it, so that's a part of the factor here. It's bypassing the drum bus, and it's just hitting the sample, and it cuts, and it sounds beautiful. But it is mixed in with all the original sounds plus the parallel, so it just works. Makes things a little bit nicer. And then we'll just check the kick here. All right, so that's with the kick sample, and these are both shameless plug. Hit the like button 3 times for shameless plugs from the Studio Kit sample pack. But I mean, that is exactly why I use it. I'll bypass both the samples. We'll listen without it. Sounds cool. Now with it. Without it. With it. Now, quickly rescue yourself, get out of solo mode. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Cole. Reminding me, I'm just mixing with the camera on my face here. Okay. Yeah. So, listening in context, I felt like the kick sample here, I think we should be able to hear it if I just click it. Yeah, I was getting a little more low information on the sample than I think is necessary for this kind of mix. So I'm just kind of pulling the kick out. Listen to those room mics, man. Woo! Just getting spanked. So you may have noticed I just turned off basically all the plugins on the solo there, and I think it sounds cooler. Just immediate gut feel here. So let's go back to the solo. Start it. Yeah, much, much better. Super cool. Yeah, and I mentioned this in the first stream, which was in mono. You got to mix in mono. It's huge. But now we're in stereo. The electric guitars, this track came from a band called Counterspell. Ian is the writer, singer, guitar player, producer of this project. He did it all remote down in Texas. The guitar tracks that I got were a combination of DI tracks and neural DSP printed tones. And with the tones he sent, and there was very different drums that were on here, different drum parts, very different sounds. But when he sent it to me, I just felt like I knew exactly what he was trying to do. And he nailed the guitar parts, the bass part, and the vocal and the production of that stuff was really great. I thought there was some room for enhancement on the drums as far as what the parts were and sounds, recording and all that. So he was gracious enough to let me redo drums from scratch and come up with some different parts. So we kind of worked together on this track, and it's just one of my favorite types of music to play as a drummer. And also, like, it's so fun to record. So when we got the guitars, I wound up reamping the DIs. He did a good job capturing it. Super minimal setup. I think he has one API 3124, and just tried to do it all like that. One overdubbing guitars and bass and vocals through the API, so we had good signal and reamped it. I spent a weekend working on the electric guitar overdubs and the original mix on this. Ran it through Vox, Supro, different cabs, different mics on each thing. I think he used the same guitar on all the parts. So my hope with the guitars was to try to get, like the doubles here. I wanted them to be as different sounding as possible so that it makes the mix sound bigger. So I don't remember. I think we could see here. Oh, okay. AC30 and Princeton. I put little notes in the bottom. You can see. So yeah, this guitar is going through the Princeton and the 2x12. Sounds awesome. I'm using a bunch of pedals on there and a 121. Not a bunch of pedals, maybe it was one or two. And then the other guitar is the AC30 through the same cab but with a 57. Reamped at different times with different chains, and that way the double is two very different sounding mics. I was gonna say, in fact, I would probably low pass this one to make it a little more mid focused. So let me mess with that. Let's see if we can jump back a few. Now this has like a almost an extra layer just on this part. Let's listen to that. I think these are the original neural DSPs, and I left them in there because number one, the tone's cool, but it's very different than the amped tone. So. This feels very Foo Fighters esque, with the sort of growing little melodic parts there. Might be cool to actually just use one of those. Now that I'm listening here, you can see I'm filtering out all kinds of stuff on there. Beautiful. Oh, not 12 dB. Cool. Well, this is all sounding really, really good. Now I'm just going to kind of zoom in and do some vocal balancing and some automation passes. But overall, I'm really, really happy with the tones and the effects here. Let's see. We've got maybe another 15 minutes here on stream, and I'll answer some questions here. Get your hands on an old Icon D control. You can forget your screen. Yeah, I would love to, but I need a screen. I make videos, man. But I do, the screen I have, I'm able to basically dim it all the way down to where it's essentially off when I go to do those automation moves, which is so nice to just literally look and not see the screen and just hear music. Make those choices. Let's see here. I was gonna say this gives Taylor vibes. I did my best to harness the great Taylor Hawkins. Grew up playing all that kind of stuff. I never hear any harsh elements in your audio mix. Great stuff. Thank you. Adds a little ping to cut through. Very nice. The homie is live. What's up, Scantless? Yes, the drum samples skip the compression and the drum bus. They are in parallel to it. Mixed Child the Rapper. What's up? Trick to add some very low into your kick. Duplicate the kick track. Cut the top end. Waves heart bass 32. Yeah, that's basically what I'm doing with the parallel tracks here with the thing. However, I'm not filtering out the highs. Andrew, do you find your mixing process easier when you spend more time in track? Yes, 100%. Yeah, look forward to me being so annoying and saying that 100% of the time. Is most of the mix decisions are really made in the beginning, with instrument choice, tone, guitar with the part. Really, the parts play a big role. The instrument, the source, how you tune the drums, which drums you pick, and then how you mic it, the process, all that stuff is done and committed in the beginning, um, when we're tracking. Um, sorry, here, my wife is calling me. Um, yeah, like the you want to mix, in other words, with the mic is a kind of a silly way, um, to think about it, but it is very true. Like for example, with the guitars, um, I believe I pulled the mics off of the speaker about a foot or so, and it made a really really big difference in how the guitars sat in the mix. When you're close miking a bunch of things, you want to be mindful with mic distance and choice, um, with everything else that's in the arrangement, so that it's has some depth and it's not everything, because it's unnatural to put your ear right next to an amp speaker or a drum head or something like that. So you can kind of mix with your mic's placement, and mindful with choice and all that. Yeah, huge part of the mixing. Um, did I do full production? No. Ian and I kind of both tag teamed this one together. All credit to him for just writing a great song, great parts. He did an excellent job performing the guitars and writing good stuff so that it comes through nicely. Oh, volume changes when your screen changes, by the way. Oh, how interesting is that? That's pretty interesting. Okay. Let's see, one or two more. I hope the stream will remain. Yeah, I'm gonna leave these streams online so we can go back to them. I wanna leave them up. Also, shout out to Sweetwater, who kindly offered to sponsor this stream. Pretty freaking crazy that they're willing to do that. We love Sweetwater here in the studio. All the stuff I'm using, I've really tried to put very simple links in the description. If you're curious about looking at any of the stuff that I'm using, there's like a master list of most of the stuff that I'm using. At the top, I think it says all of the gear that I use, or all of my gear, or something like that. If you want to go through there, like the fader controllers, the mix bus compressor, the summing mixer, a lot of the stuff I used on the front end, microphones, drums. I'm trying to remember which drum kit this was. I want to say it was the WFL3 kit that I have. It's like a 22, 13, 16, and I was using their Black Beauty that I was actually borrowing at the time. So yeah, thank you, Sweetwater, for sponsoring this. Check out those links. Really, really great. Do you have the channel level controls in the summing set to 0? Yes, I do. Yeah, so you can bypass the level controls of each individual channel. There are individual levels, so you can actually do a little balance on the summing mixer. And then there's a 0 dB bypass, which just sets everything to 0, and that's what this is currently set to. Good question. Anthony, hi, Andrew. How are you today? I'm doing good, man. How are you? Cole, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm all right.
How's the stream going?
It's fun. It's good. I mean, I'm getting knocking out two birds or whatever it is.
Two birds knocked.
What else did I want to mention? Oh yeah, drums. Yeah, this was me on drums. I recorded them here in the studio. If you want to put some drums on your track, please, you can go to my website and you can listen to some other stuff that I've drummed on. This is one of them, and you can book me to drum on your tracks. as well as mixing and all that stuff. I did a little rant here earlier about how I want to record more bands. So if you're a band and you want to come to Nashville and record, do it. Hit me up. Let's record and make records and document it and put it on the internet. Okay, so I'm gonna go. Where did I leave off? Vocals. Play. All right, so let's see. We're on automation here. Our vocal is on. Okay, so that's off. And our background. Yeah, let's turn that off as well. Okay. So vocal chain here, for those who are curious, my mic is on, perfect, is mostly compression. I don't think there's literally no EQ happening. This API 550 is on here and is doing, it's just a trim, a volume trim. In fact, I want to bring that back up. Let's see. Yeah, so we just have a lot of compression happening. So I have two instances of this UA 1176, and it is in serial, meaning we have the same settings across both of them. However, there's probably a different output level on the second one because that is feeding my external compressor, which is the WA1B, which is a tube opto Tube Tech CL1B copy from Warm Audio, and that is the last thing hitting the vocal, and generally is always on the vocal with whatever I'm mixing. Sounds freaking amazing. Let's see here. Okay. So that's a little A-B there. I'll do it again because we have an actual true bypass on the 1B. So I'm going to turn it off. And we're going to flip it back on. And then we're sending out to a slap, it looks like, tape slap, which is this guy. I have no idea what it's set to. And then bus 3132, which is this. Oh, yeah, this is like the Dave Grohl kind of Nirvana thing. The micro pitch shift is so huge for this tone. So there's I don't think there's any verb on the vocal. It just is this micro pitch shift doubler type thing, which just freaking rules on rock vocals. It's like I'm so used to hearing it on like 90s rock records. I can immediately tell if it's on there because it's such a signature sound that was all over those records. And it's a great way to make a dry vocal sound really cool in the mix. So yeah, and then backgrounds. So let's look at the backgrounds here. By the way, I have my limiter off, which I usually keep on. Let's turn it on and see where we are. Let me know how the volume is. I don't want to blast you guys. All right, let's listen to these backgrounds. Probably got a decent amount of compression. I'm gonna back that off a little bit. Again, insanely simple stuff here. A little bit of EQ, and then compression on pretty much everything across the board outside of, tape slap, which I believe is automated. So it's probably coming in and out depending on the section. Pitch shift. I see this vocal ad lib here. Is there? Oh, this is the lead audio. Cool. Great. Yeah, that's all sounding a little bit better. So I'll probably go through and do some automation passes here before we print things off. So if you have any final questions before we wrap up this stream, drop them down below. This is episode 1 of the morning mix, and pretty fun. We figured out the stereo thing, so hopefully I'll save that, and going forward, we can do some more of these, and happy to do so. If you guys want to reach out and do any sessions, yes, you can. I am booking stuff on the website, andrewmastersmusic.com. Check out the links to any of the gear. Get some faders for your studio. Put your hands on faders. Stop looking at your screen. Mix with the microphone. Make competent, thoughtful decisions before you actually start. The whole fix it in the mix is the dumbest, worst thing you can do for your song. So yeah, that's my old man rant. Yeah, let's see if we have any other questions here. The API Summit, yeah, pretty great. Very, very happy with it. What I like to do once I kind of get towards the end of it, I won't do too much A/Bing during the mix. I'm just mixing based off of my feelings and how I think it's just organically sounds and how it's moving me. And then afterwards, I will do sort of a A/B of how it turned out. So maybe on the next stream, we'll listen back and do some comparison, because I did a bunch of mixing over the weekend, some early this week, and it was really enlightening to hear the difference between the mixes. Do you have channel control? Yes, the 0 dB bypass. I want to work at your studio. Are you hiring? Not really. We've got Cole here right now who's finishing up an internship, and he's new to Nashville, kind of learning the ropes, doing a bunch of sessions on the side, and then we've got another young chap starting in May, but yeah, not hiring anything in the audio realm at the moment. Maybe in the future. Let's see. Favorite mics for guitar cabs right now. All right. So DJ Illy. I'm still iffy on warm gear. That's fine. The mic I am loving on guitar cab right now is the Warm Audio D19 copy. And I got him and I wasn't super sure what I was going to think about him. The first thing I put him on just was a impulsive decision, was a guitar cab. And we used it on the Tyler Bryant video. So if you guys saw when Tyler Bryant came through, we did that rock track. One mic, I just threw it on a stand. I didn't even, the Supro, you can't even see through the cloth. So I just pointed it vaguely in the direction and was like, let's hear it. It sounded amazing. It sounded so good. I also used it on bass guitar through a cab. Amazing. Sat perfectly in the mix. And it's been the go-to since then. Now, that was post me working on this record. I did the 57 121 thing. I think I did 414 as well on this other sort of melody guitar part, which is happening throughout. Yeah, there's a 414 on there, which sounds like this. By the way, 414 is the WA14. It is a copy of the EB circuit, which is one of my favorite versions of the 414. Sounds great. So we've got that. Then we've got this, which is the 121. And then we've got this, which is the 57. And you put them all together. Sounds great. Sorry, you guys can't see my screen. ADD, man. Cool. Well, yeah, that's it. I'm gonna wrap it up here. Thank you guys for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe. Let me know if you guys want to see more of these morning mix streams. This was super fun for me to do. And check out all the gear in the description. If you want to sign up for the drum recording course, it's not live yet, but there's a wait list. You could sign up on that. I would urge you to do that. That's going to be a really awesome product when it comes out, and I'm working really hard on that. So check that out. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good rest of your day.